I was my narcissistic mother's scapegoat, and it was a horribly abusive experience. I know that when I finally began to fight back, there was a lot of chaos and confusion. It was a very difficult time, but I slowly began to find my way toward healing. There were a lot of bumps in the road, but if you stick it out, you can heal the emotional wounds your narcissistic abuser inflicted. If you can understand what happens to the narcissist, you can better navigate the changes that will come. Let's get started. What happens from the narcissist's perspective? The narcissist needs a scapegoat because they are full of insecurity and fear. They have buried their true self deep in their psyche and constructed a false self in its place. The scapegoat is usually someone who triggers the narcissist's insecurities and fears, and that's why they feel justified in dumping on them. So, what happens for the narcissist when the scapegoat finally starts fighting back? Here are a few common responses. Number 1, there is an initial narcissistic rage eruption. Initially, the narcissist erupts in a rage, a typical response as you can often see. They scream and yell at the scapegoat and assure them that they will live to regret this decision. My mother positively exploded when I told her I was going no contact for a while. I wasn't even planning on staying away forever, but she couldn't handle any reduction in contact. She said some hateful things as well. Common things narcissists say when a scapegoat leaves. You'll never make it on your own. You can't live without me. You'll be back. You're overreacting. You're such a sensitive snowflake. If you leave, don't ever come back. You're dead to me. You need to take anything the narcissist says with a grain of salt, however, since they will likely want you back in their life. Most narcissists cycle through people in their life because they come to realize that people tire of them easily. They will try to come back into your life even after years. What's more, anything they say in a rage is something that comes from a place of insecurity, fear, and mistrust. Still, be prepared to lose them, but you're not really losing a caring, reciprocal relationship. Number 2, gaslighting. Next up on the narcissist's agenda of reactions when a scapegoat fights back is gaslighting. They will tell you that what you think happened is all in your imagination. They will even outright lie about the events that you recount to them. Narcissists are masters at manipulating the truth. Part of the reason they can be so effective is their absolute devotion to viewing the world through their distorted, dysfunctional lens. They are able to convince themselves of their own lies. They feel justified in distorting the truth because they cannot face the real truth. So, be prepared for them to tell any number of gaslighting lies to try to dissuade you from leaving. Number 3, the narcissist begins hoovering. When the other tactics fail, the narcissist next turns to attempting to hoover you back into their drama. They turn on the charm to do this. It's something called love bombing. Love bombing is distinctive in that it involves praise that is overboard. It is almost sickly sweet. And of course, the end goal is to get you to do what they want. Many victims of narcissists often report thinking they've met their soulmate when they first met the narcissist. The narcissist really turns on the charm initially and can seem like they understand everything you need and desire. During the love bombing stage, they learn all about how to manipulate you. Even if you are the child of a narcissist, your relationship with your parent goes through this stage. It usually occurs, however, when you are too young to remember it. They know you so well, however, that when they start love bombing anew, it can be very effective. Number 4, the narcissist uses triangulation to manipulate and control. Another technique the narcissist employs to manage damage control is to use triangulation to disrupt any relationship you might have with your family, friends, or coworkers. They will tell one person one thing and someone else something completely different. If you're in the loop, they will tell you something that is designed to sabotage your relationship with these people and undermine any future contact. They purposefully want to destroy your relationships. They will approach trusted friends, romantic partners, and co-workers to try and manipulate them into believing what the narcissist wants them to believe. This is all in an attempt to regain control. You've taken their control away from them, and they are desperate to get it back. If they can't manipulate you into coming back into the fold, they will turn their destructive tactics on other people in your life. Number 5. Smear campaign. After employing triangulation to disrupt your relationships, they begin to smear you so that no one will believe anything you say. They know you're a loose end that they have to tie up, and to do that, they will make it seem like you're the problem, not them. They will tell the other people in your life any lie to make them believe you're the one who's delusional, dangerous, or vindictive. If you worked with the narcissist, they will claim you're a disgruntled employee. If you're part of their family, they will label you as the black sheep of the family and claim that all of the family's problems are because of your bad behavior. Friends will gossip about you to all of your other friends. Romantic partners will even go to the extreme of trying to smear you to your closest family members. They don't want anyone to believe you, and they don't want you to have any supporters. They don't care if it destroys your life because they don't have any empathy. What happens to the scapegoat? You might be surprised at what happens to the scapegoat when they go no contact. You might think everything will be wonderful now that they've escaped an abusive narcissist. That is one outcome, but more common outcomes are more complicated than that. Scapegoats, particularly those who have been subjected to a lifetime of abuse, internalize toxic shame and repeat behavior patterns that keep them in the company of toxic abusers, even after they have left home. Let's take a look at some of the common emotions and behaviors they experience. Number 1. Confusion at first. The first thing an escaped scapegoat typically experiences is confusion. They have been living with a high level of stress for so long that when they are relieved of that burden, they don't know how to feel. They also experience confusion associated with the loss of their role as a scapegoat. They often internalized that role in the family. They saw themselves as the rebel child, and even may have taken a certain amount of pride in that role. When they suddenly find themselves without anyone to rebel against, it can be confusing. They don't know what to do with themselves initially. If they don't seek out ways to heal, they can easily fall back into familiar patterns. Number 2, they can gaslight themselves. While you might never have thought about it, you can gaslight yourself. And this is a common response among scapegoats who have fled their abuser. They will tell themselves that they are to blame. They may also come to believe they somehow deserved the abuse they endured, or that they really are too sensitive, as their abuser claimed. They may question if they are, in fact, the cause behind the bad things they were accused of doing. Common self-gaslighting phrases. I'm just being paranoid. I must be overreacting. Surely I imagined that. I guess I am a little crazy. I have no one to blame but myself. There may be legitimate reasons to express some of these sentiments, but often it's the result of internalizing your scapegoat role and gaslighting yourself. Number 3, the scapegoat may find a replacement narcissist. Abuse begets abuse, and when a scapegoat has experienced narcissistic abuse as a child, they often repeat those patterns in their adult relationships. It makes sense when you consider that the only model a child really has for relationships is usually what they see at home. Children who are exposed to abuse from an early age don't know that it's not normal. It's the only reality they have ever known. How would they know that not everyone has the same experience? I didn't know until a childhood friend of mine was shocked by something my mother said. I thought everyone's mother was just like mine, and it wasn't until she was shocked that I understood my mother was different. When a child doesn't know any better, they look for familiar patterns of behavior as adults. They often seek out adult partners who will scapegoat them, just like their narcissistic parents did. Number 4, they may seek solace in addictive substances. Another common trend among scapegoats is that of addiction. They have internalized so much toxic shame that they feel a constant sense of pain. They seek to numb that pain by turning to substances that help them simply not think about it. Scapegoats have to live with the label of black sheep of the family, and they often live up to it by engaging in self-destructive behaviors. They may even have come to believe that they don't deserve to live or be happy in life. They have swallowed the Kool-Aid, as it were, that their toxic, narcissistic abuser was feeding them. Number 5, healing is possible. Despite all of these possible outcomes, healing is also one outcome. I know because I have done a lot of personal growth work toward that end. Healing is a difficult process because it requires that you face your internal demons. But I can tell you from personal experience that there is no more worthwhile process in the whole world. If you embark on a healing journey, you will cry, you will feel desperate, and you will sometimes feel hopeless. But when you finally emerge into the light of understanding and acceptance, you will experience unconditional self-love. You can give your own inner child the unfailing love that your narcissistic abuser was simply not capable of expressing. This video gives you some tips on how to heal your inner child. You can be your own hero, and when that happens, you can face any challenge that comes your way. In the end, there are few things more toxic than narcissistic scapegoating. It leaves the scapegoat with emotional wounds that can be used to manipulate and control them for the rest of their life. They are filled with toxic shame, and it's easy for them to fall victim to other abusers and self-destructive behaviors as well. Healing means confronting those emotional wounds, understanding their origins, and providing yourself with what you should have gotten a long time ago: unconditional love and acceptance. I have created a 5-step roadmap to heal emotional triggers that can help you take those difficult first steps toward healing your old wounds. This handy guide can help you identify, diffuse, and heal emotional wounds so that no one can use them to hurt you ever again. If you would like a free copy of this guide, just click on the link below the video and I'll send it directly to your inbox. Thanks for watching.